One of the things that Hogan is best known for is our focus on reputation. We talk about personality, how we engage with others on a day-to-day basis, our behavioral characteristics, and then we're really well known for the dark side of personality, our derailer tools. So how our reputation is impacted when we're under stress and we're under pressure. But one of the things that Hogan may be a little less well known for is our focus on values. We think a lot about reputation, so how our behaviors impact the way we're perceived in the workplace, how we get along with others, and how we're able to get ahead in organizations. But we're not always talking about or thinking about the other component that Hogan focuses on, which is finding meaning. And we find meaning through the values. The motives, values, preferences inventory is a tool that tells us a lot about the inside of personality, or what gets us out of bed in the morning, if you will. So when talking to a client about what's important in an organization's culture, what's going to determine whether or not an employee is going to stay or be motivated and engaged in the job. At Hogan, we use the values inventory to really think about cultural fit for our employees. We're very focused on work hard, play hard. So a values match is really imperative in our organization for making sure that individuals align with our values. Because what we find is we could have 10 great candidates who fit well within the needs for the job. When also thinking about values, we think about it from a development perspective as well. So when engaging someone in a feedback conversation, we may start by saying, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What do you stand for? What's important to you? And then how do you feel when you aren't getting those needs met? So when we're thinking about individuals or talking to individuals who may be struggling in a role, for example, they're saying, well, it meets what my background, my experiences, but it's just not motivating, or it's just not energizing to come to that work environment. That's where we really start to see an interaction between one's values and how it may ultimately impact derailers. One of the scales on the motives, values, preferences inventory is called affiliation. And affiliation is about having a driver for, or a motivation for, engaging with others, wanting to collaborate. Individuals who are high on affiliation like office environments that are very open, where they can readily access others and get their energy from others. In most cases, you'll see alignment. So it's more common to see someone be high on affiliation, they want to network, they want to engage, and then high on sociability, they go about doing it. But if there's a conflict, there's usually a coaching opportunity there. So if someone is very high on affiliation, but low on sociability, what you might see from a behavioral perspective is a little bit more introverted, maybe shy and quiet, but yet this individual has a really high need to interact with others. But as we start to look at the values and integrate the behaviors, we get a really good picture of what's important to the individual, how do they go about meeting these values, how we go about getting it from a behavioral perspective, and then having an understanding of what can get in the way. Because not only will that impact our performance, but that may impact our satisfaction within an organization's culture and our ability to fit